Alright, guys. Here we go. Oh, I just got a really good equip right as it was. It's a additional 5 crit. Wow, just as I started this. That's so crazy. I mean, we gotta start this video off by talking about the elephant in the room, which is this guy. I'm not dying to talk about this, but I mean, we'll do a separate video just on this topic specifically. I think this guy's the worst Part 1 Anniversary LR. I mean, once we open it up to Part 2 LRs, I'd have to sit down and do a little bit more research before I'm confident in saying something like that. Contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't just speak random shit out of my ass. So I'd have to sit down and really, like, look at, like even maybe review my old footage of, like, how, you know, like, Kaioken Goku was doing back then and stuff like that. I mean, certainly this guy's better than STR Kaioken Graded Vegeta, right? There's no doubt about that. But if we're talking about, like, Part 1 LRs, I'm taking every Anniversary Part 1 LR over this guy. Every single one. I'm taking them all over this guy, dude. I'm sorry. I'm even taking probably Int Evolution Blue Vegeta over him too. It's just, we're in a different time, right? Characters don't really suck right now, as you guys are gonna see. I only chose to do a top 10 LR tier list, and there's like insane names missing from this. Huge characters, because it's just a top 10. Because they've released so many good characters recently, right? Like they haven't been fumbling units. So, yeah. Basically, the point for this is that Vegeta's not here. And number 10 is Goku Gohan and Trunks. Oh, oops. I didn't trim this. Ah, shit. I didn't trim this down. Because, like, obviously there's characters that don't need to be... Like, these two don't need to be here yet. That character doesn't need to be here. They don't need to be here. They don't need to be here, right? Oh, damn, chat. I'm sorry. Where are they? There. Okay. Number 10. I mean, they're still pretty effective, right? You know, they're a nice, powerful support type character. I mean, they can get killed, but I mean, depending upon the team we're running, their standby can be very effective. They're a great tank in their standby. We know how good this shit is. Great ability. This is a character I'm going to be using for a long time to come, probably, just with how effective they are in terms of their support type abilities and stuff like that. I think one thing that is a bit of a kind of unfortunate aspect, though, is that they are not on the Part 1 LR leader skill. I feel like they would probably be a lot of fun to run in that Vegito team. Maybe they could be on the Part 2 Dokkan Fest leader skill. Maybe the Part 2... Well, I guess the Part 2 Dokkan Fest is probably not going to lead Earth... Oh, well, if it's a tag, they would have Earthbred Fighters. Hopefully the Part 2 LR has, like, Earthbred Fighters as a leader skill. That'd be so good. Or Kamehameha. A lot of these, they could have super... We don't need another Super Saiyan leader. But anyway, this character, they're good. I mean, I will always... You know, this is a huge support character. I will always bow down a little bit to support characters, right? For sure. Next, we got to give him respect. I think we could even get this guy higher in Broly. I mean, dude, we're going to get to him later on the list, but HAL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I mean, he works pretty seamlessly on uncontrollable power. Broly's domain does cause him to take a little bit of extra damage, that Super Saiyan 4 Goku, with this right here, which we actually did see in a video, but it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku support added to this team. The thing about it is, like, uncontrollable power, this guy is pretty much as good as this category is. This category falls off, he's not very good. But, look at this. Dude, look at this. Like, so, yeah. Do I need to talk much more? I still think his kit has a lot of issues, but, I mean, at the end of the day, do we care more about, you know, like, flaws, theoretical flaws? Or do we care about what the fuck he gets done, right? Does he get the job done? The answer is yes. Yes, he does. He gets the job done, right? So, he's there. We don't need to talk too much about him. Next, Gotenks. Gotenks is 8? What? Dude, there's so many good characters right now. Gotenks is 8. 8. He's just really powerful. He's got a lot of damage reduction. You know, you could kind of... I mean, it is a, you know, gambler's mentality. but you could gamble a little bit with him in slot 1. If there's Ki Blast super attacks, he completely just Stonewall Jackson's Ki Blast super attacks and then counters. I think that gives him a little bit of extra added value. He's a Rainbow Orb Changer. He's a strong fusion who could pair with these characters. On the turn where we do his active skill, he is a pretty easy slot 1. It still is the most hilarious thing ever to say tank or die, but he is essentially like a dodge or die, tank or die, but he gives you a shot. Like, if we got to YOLO it, if the part 3 10th anniversary craziest boss is like an AoE super boss or something like that, we'll feel. What's funny about AoE super attacks? You know what they typically are? Is Ki Blasts. AoE supers, they're Ki Blasts. So Gotenks is never going to be weak against that. I like Gotenks right here. So you guys know who's coming up next is Janemba. That was kind of like, for a while, I did my tier list, and then a little bit longer, I was like, I think Janemba's a little bit more consistent. Like, Janemba dies a little bit less for me, and I kept pulling up that tier list and saying the only change I make is put Janemba in front of him. They actually, I feel like, have some similarities. Janemba's just a little bit better in what he does. Janemba, of course, is a character that has Big Bad Bosses. Remember that Big Bad Bosses characters are only as strong as the Big Bad Bosses link is, but I've got good news about that as well, and that's that they've dropped a lot of killers for Big Bad Bosses. We have some real strong units that we're able to pair Janemba up with, and things go seamlessly. He has a rage mode. So, he can potentially, cancel boss super attacks. He's got a little bit of a team protector mechanic, which, if you're going to start being in this top 10, team protector mechanic, you probably need one. I certainly, if we're going to talk about, STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, if he had a team protector mechanic, if he had a revive, if he had Beast Gohan active skills, something like that, I might be singing a different tune, but, he doesn't have any of that shit, so. Oops. But yeah, Janemba, very strong character, and can sit in slot 1 pretty much the whole fight, which is, it is one of the most important things. Like, I don't like, people talk about, unit can't go slot 1, and it's like, it does matter. It does matter, unfortunately. I hate that it matters so much, but it really does. Next is this guy. I dropped him a little bit. I'm a little bit fearful for him. Maybe this is a little bit preemptive, but I think that this character's impact is going to go down quite a bit in a world where he can't one-shot the hardest bosses in the game with the Family Kamehameha. Right now, I look at it, there's the Janemba fight, the Gogeta fight, the Goku and Frieza fight, like those are still the fights. And right now, the hardest fight in the game, Goku and Frieza, he just one-shots cold-blooded with the Family Kamehameha. But, we see these Vegeta story and Goku story bosses are, they're rocking 200 million plus. This guy could do that with juicing, but we're not going to just like naturally be one-shotting the bosses, which means his base form is going to be way more in play here. This guy, depending upon what the fights look like, this guy could be out of the top 10 before the anniversary. I'm pre-warning you guys. This guy, I could see falling off way more than even these guys back here, right? Like this guy, he had his run, but the game environment is about to change. So, his base form, he doesn't have much to deal with boss toxic mechanics. After his first turn, he's not super weak, but, he's also not the craziest either. I think maybe if his dodge right here, like if they swap this to high chance to dodge when receiving a super attack or something, this guy, I think, in my opinion, would be a lot better, right? But there we go. There's that right there. Next, we have TEQ Gogeta. Wow, damn, TEQ Gogeta down to 5. Yeah, I felt like I should do this. I think right here is where we could grab the next two as well, TEQ Carnival Broly and then Beast. I see no reason not to raise the two of them. So Beast is significantly stronger with the 220% leader skill. Just period, point blank. I have been blown away. I wasn't even going to do this right here. I wasn't going to do these 220% leader skill buff until I saw what Beast did against Gogeta here. Like, we just go right in. I saw this additional level of tanking that he's got, and I was like, dude, what the hell is this? This 220% leader skill, like, it makes him a lot stronger. That's just 388. That's just a cold-blooded, right-away slot 1 super. And then right here, with All in the Family, he takes under 300k. Gogeta's basically supering for, like, 4.5. This is 4.5 million, basically, instantly, turn 1 before you can fucking breathe. And Beast is eating that under 300. Dude. So, it's like... I know I see just, like, very odd hate for this character. People, oh, he's boring and stuff like that. He's not boring when he just stonewalls everything. He is God. And it's going to be hard to age this guy out with this. I talked about it. I think that what STR Evolution Blue Vegeta needs is this exactly. You give STR Evolution Blue Vegeta this exact active skill, but just swap this to him guarding for 1 turn. It, like, literally, pretend this says guard for 1 turn, and then give the rest of this exactly as is to STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, and he skyrockets up to, like, number 3. Or, like, he's right up here. Like near TEQ Broly and Beast. But, I mean, I've always said it. TEQ Broly, I like him. You know, it's like, I could see arguments of why you'd like TEQ Broly better than Beast, but I can never, ever get this guy above Beast because of Beast's active skill, man. I can't. It's just too much. It's too much. The only reason I dropped TEQ Gogeta down a little bit, by the way, is, you know, he's still dominant defensively, which hasn't changed. So we could easily slide him back up. But especially, too, he's not going to be our best option for this anymore. TEQ Vegito is. Which does. And I think the fights are probably coming up going to be geared towards TEQ Vegito. Long fights, though. That Scouter could be very important for TEQ Gogeta or TEQ Vegito. But, like, at these 3, like, when you have Transform Broly, Super Gogeta, Beast out there, they're very similar in what they're doing. These 3. They're really good. I can't get Broly in front of Beast, though. I feel like they're very similar, but Broly in front of Beast, can't do it. I have Super Saiyan 3/4 Goku here at 2. I have been very impressed with this guy. So, one thing I just want to point out, a lot of characters in Dokkan history, characters that people love, right? People will fall, Dokkan Twitter will fall to their fucking knees. These comment sections will fall to their knees for the shittiest asshole character you've ever seen in your life who could look good 1 every 50 runs or something like that. And they will suck the unit's cock. They will be just slurping to no end, okay? AGL Blue Vegito. The fact that that unit had any discussion after the 9th anniversary is true insanity. Utter stupidity and insanity that we ever even spent 1 fucking molecule of effort talking about AGL Blue Vegito past the 9th anniversary, right? This guy doesn't have holes. Like, previously, if this dude came out 2 years ago, this would not be for... Here's the point I'm making. As long as you can't do the Great Ape, he has this. The second the Great Ape is activated, you're never locked in Super Saiyan 3 Goku without this up, is my point. No matter what. He's always got that up. So he's always decent. He's always useful. Whereas you look at, like, AGL Blue Vegito, you can be locked out of Blue Vegito and then locked out of their intro as well. That's, like, a huge difference. Like, imagine Blue Vegito if, like, they just never lost their intro until you transform into Blue Vegito, right? Like, the character would be way better. And that's kind of like what this guy's going on. That's the whole point of me talking about that. So we go into the Golden Great Ape, and we know how that works. It's, you know, just like Janemba's Rage Mode Team Protector mechanic. Because the boss could potentially use up their super in the Golden Great Ape turn, and then they can't super once you leave it. He does a lot of damage. He's doing guaranteed crits, a lot of key per keister. He could output a lot of damage, actually, just in that 1 turn. And then immediately you transform into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, you don't even go, like, it's not like later or anything. Like, it's just right away. You know, you will see this guy turn 2. You could see him turn 2 pretty easily. And then, I mean, this is just, it's very similar to, like, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks. I mean, I guess he is kind of like them, except here's the thing about this character. I mean, I don't want to use... Damage is always going to be, like, the third thing we're talking about, right? Like, I'm not, oh, their damage sucks. But this character hits like a beyond a feather. They do nothing. Like, a lot of, we have so many losses in the Goku and Frieza fight because we just cannot damage Goku and Frieza. And this character doesn't do any damage whatsoever. This character, I lose my mind because I look at the friends list and there'll be 30 additional builds. This character's 12 key super does literally nothing. It's worthless and does nothing. And people have like a 30 additional on this character, right? They're doing like additional normals. Like any super attack they do past their 18 key is completely worthless. Whereas this guy is dropping like nukes with his additional supers, right? I mean, these are guaranteed crits. He's got the guaranteed additional super, none of that additional normal bullshit. We don't have to deal with any of that nonsense. He's stacking every time he super attacks. And then, oh, by the way, he's got this too, dude. He's got 2-turn support. And he gives damage reduction support. I mean, we could make an argument that he's not like a slot 1 character. I think that's a good point to make. But he's doing a lot besides that. I am so comfortable with this guy at number 2. Like, he can... I will never in my life... You put that gun to my forehead. I'm holding it right to my fucking forehead right now. You will never get me to say in Super Saiyan 4 Goku is good. You will never... You put it right to my dome. I'm not saying, looking down the barrel of the gun, that in Super Saiyan 4 Goku's back, because he is not. But you can get away with it because of this guy. That's how good this guy is. You could get away with one of the worst characters, one of the worst design characters we've ever seen, just because of how great this guy is. So that's it. And this character we don't even need to talk about. I mean, I'll just be honest. We don't need... The character has almost no weaknesses. I was stunned. You know, like, okay, this character could be locked in slot 1 and killed. I think that's a real thing. That could happen. That is the only weakness I am aware of with this character. You might say, oh, AoEs. We tested that. This character, I mean, this is up, boom, right away. So it's like, as long as he's in slot 2, Fusion, Zamasu, AoE, double digits. All this shit, it's just double digits. Dodoria, AoE, double digits. Doesn't matter. It's the character has one weakness, and that's Goku getting locked in slot 1, right? You go into Vegeta. Vegeta has very dominant defenses. And then Vegito is... I mean, it's like Amatsu said. They limited Vegito to 4 turns for game balancing reasons. Dokkan is scared of counters. Counters suck. I mean, again, I don't know. People are just, I guess, very happy for 10th anniversary stuff like that. HL Vegito sucks ass, man. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, if everyone wants to just cope for him right now and then call me an idiot, we could do that. But this guy's not that good. And counters are not that good. Except for this guy. He breaks the rules. It's not... Counters and this guy's counters are not the same thing. It is not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So, yeah. He's number 1. And, I mean, no boss can stand to him. I mean, I don't... This is what happens. I've explained this a lot. The anniversary LRs are the best units and dominate the entire year every year, basically. All right? Like, 7th anniversary, they were... A unit showed up better than them. Tanabata, Vegeta and Trunks, was way better than the LR Gods and LR Super Saiyan 4s, right? 8th anniversary. I mean, you could say Bulma or Orange Piccolo, who predated the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but that unit was either number 1, I guess that year is a bit of an exception, but like that unit, that Goku, the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I mean, you could have easily had them as one. Even in the Fusion Zamasu fight, they could be very effective. They could be. They could. It's because you could get the revive out, and you could really get you past the AoE, or they could get cucked by the AoE, but something like that. And then obviously last year, Beast. I mean, Beast ran the game until, you know, TEQ Gogeta or something like I don't know. Like, this guy is going to be number 1 all year. Like, we're going to be... let's see what the Part 2 Dokkan Fest looks like, I guess. This guy will be 1 or 2, right? Like, let's see what happens for the Tanabata LR. Is the Tanabata LR going to be past Vegito and Gogeta? We'll see. That's all we're waiting for. So that's that. So this is the top 10 right here. This is what we're rocking with. I've got this. Right here. I could have... 3, 4, 5... Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was thinking maybe Broly and Goku, Gohan, and Trunks in the S tier, and I was like, nah, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. By the way, if you want to talk to me about HL Super Saiyan 4 Goku in tier 1, just stop it. No. He's number 2. But, I mean, there's a gap, dude. They're not close, man. I'm sorry. That Vegito is just... Bro. Like, basically, once you could swap to Vegeta, that character can't be... Yeah. You get it. You guys get it. Here's the last list. Last time I did a top 15, so we could look at some of the characters who would fall out. Yeah, I mean, these probably would be the next 4 up. These Tournament of Power characters. STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, the point where I'd start talking about him is like right around here, probably. Carnival Gogeta versus Evolution Blue Vegeta. If you're curious, I am taking Int Evolution Blue Vegeta over him. Because Int Evolution Blue Vegeta has a defense against a toxic mechanic at the start, which is he guards his first turn. So he can't just be sniped and killed like a pussy, the way STR Evolution Blue Vegeta can. And then there's also the Revive Team Protector mechanic. I've said many times, I suspect fights are going to be long to cater towards this guy. They're going to make fights long to cater to Vegito and Gogeta. So that would mean this guy's Revive is going to be on the table. So, you know. Sorry. I didn't make STR Evolution Blue Vegeta. I don't hate him. You guys know. Dude. So. Let me know what you guys think. I feel pretty good about this. Feel like I was, my arguments and shit like that are pretty tight. I mentioned this to Minato. I feel very sharp right now. Yeah. Y'all think you're going to get those smart-ass comments in on me. Not right now. I feel very sharp, and I'm very on top of my game right now. So bring all your little shit. I mean, if y'all want, we could start doing some community reactions. I could cut some of y'all up if you want. Oh, we could do that. We could do that. So anyway, besides all that, I do love you, Angel. So I do love you guys. Please remember, leave any comment you want to. You don't get banned here. Well, I mean, unless it's really like, unless it's really stupid. You know what I mean by that. So, all right. Love you guys. I'll catch y'all next time.